Hey, welcome to the channel. It's Jack, the muscle and mobility maker with Stronghold Strength and Conditioning. And today, we're gonna be showing you how to fix that snapping tricep that you're getting every time you extend or bend those elbows. But before we get into it, make sure you take a moment and hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on future content like this. Every Saturday, I'm putting out videos showing you how to resolve aches and pains, prevent injuries, and overall optimize your performance inside the gym and outside of it in your daily life and routine. And it doesn't get better than that. So take advantage of it. Ready? Let's go ahead and dive into this one. All right, like I said, today we're gonna be fixing that snapping tricep that you're getting every time that you're extending or bending the elbow around that 90-degree angle when that tendon wants to roll off of that medial epicondyle of your elbow there. So if you didn't know what's happening, that's what it is right there. You're getting a tendon roll over the bone itself, and that is what's causing that popping and snapping. Now, it may not be causing pain, and it's not necessarily problematic if it isn't causing pain. So if it doesn't bother you, you might not have to worry about it all that much. But if it is something that is creating pain or discomfort to the roll, then there are things that we can do to help mobilize those tissues and create a better environment internally there that's going to help this process along. Now, we also want to be aware of a lot of the forearm musculature that connects here at the elbow as well and goes into the fascia on the inside of the elbow. So it can even be a thing that plays a role if your forearms are tight and holding a lot of tension. It might be worth paying attention there as well, even though it is called snapping triceps syndrome. The heads of the triceps that we are looking at specifically are going to be the long head of the tricep and the medial head, which are right along this inside here. And those are the ones that we're going to want to pay more attention to because that is where it's rolling on that elbow specifically in the majority of cases. So what we're going to do is mobilize the joints themselves. We're going to look at improving the joint function. We're going to look at the soft tissues, make sure that we have good quality there, and then we're going to test our range of motion again and see how it's doing. Ready? Let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so the very first thing we want to do here is make sure that all the joints are in functioning order as they should be. Here, the shoulder is our focus actually, and this is because the triceps run over the shoulder as well as into the elbow there. So by centrating the shoulder, we can actually make sure the triceps are in a good position, not holding any excess tension that they shouldn't be, and also taking that elbow in deep flexion at the same time. So here I'm going to be playing with my shoulder positioning some. You'll see me elevate the shoulder, you'll see me go into external rotation of the shoulder wide, and I'm just playing with different angles to help reset the shoulder positioning and make sure this is a relaxed position while that elbow is at full point toward the ceiling and my triceps are at full length. So we get the opportunity to fully lengthen the triceps, but also make sure that the shoulder is in good working order as well as that elbow in flexion. So that is where we're working here, the joints specifically. We're gonna do one more for the elbow here coming up. All right, all we have to do for this next one is slide that band down low on our post, and we're gonna go ahead and place the band right at the inside of the elbow where you would normally get that snapping. Now the first thing I wanna do is make sure the rotation of my shoulder and arm and wrist are all working. So I'm gonna rotate that elbow in toward my ribs, and then I'm gonna start to add that flexion. So I'm gonna curl into that flexion position. You might feel this actually pulling at that tendon that likes to roll a little bit. That's pressure itself is going to give us some self-myofascial release from the band, but it's also going to help set the elbow positioning and create some stability at the elbow itself. So I'm going to do a few of these tricep extensions while the band is on the elbow, keeping the elbow in toward my ribs each time. And then I'm also going to add a rotation from a planted position. So now I'm going to push the arm into the floor nice and firm, and then rotate up. Again, we're working the whole system of the arm here, making sure that it is stable and in good position as it should be. All right, next we're gonna go directly at the tension of the tissues of the triceps themselves. So I'll be toward the inner side of the elbow, and I'm gonna be doing tricep extensions while I'm putting pressure down on the triceps here. Now I could also put weight or cap the arm so that I'm putting more pressure down. As I get lower, this is going to add to the pressure as well. So I'm working inside, doing a regular tricep extension, and then I'll also start to add more of a circular movement to it also. So you're gonna try more toward the inside. You could do a little bit toward the direct back side of the elbow, but staying in those areas as we're working these extensions, just trying to make sure that the tissues are gliding the way they should and that the tone they have, the neurological innervation there, is not excess tension. All right, next, I'm gonna be using what's called Voodoo floss here. So here I get to trap some of those tissues, the forearm that I mentioned, but I'm also gonna go over the elbow into the biceps and triceps some here. So I'm crossing over, it's gonna help with flexion gapping, and it's also gonna help with self-myofascial release. So if you don't have Voodoo floss, you could also work those forearm tissues in a similar manner with the forearm on the kettlebell handle, creating some of a self-myofascial release technique. If you could get yourself some Voodoo floss, it's an awesome tool to use for mobility purposes and recovery purposes. So here I'm going to start again with rotations, making sure the whole system of the arm is gliding as it should as I rotate. I'm going to do different positions with the wrist first of all, and then we're also going to go into a deep flexion of the elbow to really bend it, to make sure that again when we are in deep flexion, things are gliding the way that they should from the soft tissues. All right, and lastly, we're gonna test the new positioning with some tricep extensions. Here I'm doing a skull crusher with some kettlebells. Now, keep in mind, you may still get some popping, but we should know some improvement in the amount that we're getting and the tension of the musculature and the tendon itself. This is not necessarily going to be a one and done fix. It might be something that you have to do repetitively to get the shoulder positioning set and reshape the structure of the arm some, restore the sliding surfaces of those tissues, and in the long run, you should see a resolution to your issue. All right, and there you have it. A quick mobility-based approach that you could be using to help you resolve your snapping tricep. If you like this video, make sure you let me know by clicking that big thumbs up down below, and take a moment to share this one with a friend who's always clicking and popping when they're doing those tricep exercises or presses, whatever it might be. Pass it along their way, give them some help. And if you are somebody who struggles with reoccurring training aches or injuries, and there's something that you need direct help resolving, whether it be this snapping tricep syndrome or something greater, shoulder injuries, wrist, elbow, anything along those lines, what I want you to do right now is drop down below in the description here and fill out the coaching application to schedule your mobility blueprint call. What we'll do is get you on a Zoom call so we can assess your movement, look at how you're currently doing, what the mobility looks like, develop your mobility blueprint specifically tailored for you on that call, and then from there, explain clearly how online coaching works and how we can help you move forward through this pain, help you resolve it fully. If that sounds like something that's right up your alley, what I want you to do right now again is drop down in the description, fill out the few questions there, get your time scheduled, and we'll get you on that call and moving in the right direction. Last but not least, if you have not already, make sure you take a moment and hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on future content like this. Every Saturday, I'm putting out videos showing you how to resolve aches and pains, prevent injuries, and overall optimize your performance inside the gym and outside of it in your daily life and routine, and it does not get better than that. Welcome to the Stronghold Army. We'll see you next week.